My wife canceled our Aspen trip for urgent meetings with her college ex, said I didn't need the details. So I flew out alone and posted a ski photo with another woman. 2 days later, she's blowing up my phone. But that was just the beginning. My name is Colin Ramsey. I'm 48 years old, and for the past 23 years, I've been a lead engineer at North Point Defense Systems in Colorado Springs. I design guidance systems for aircraft, the kind of work that requires security clearance and keeps our pilots safe. It's precise, methodical work. You measure twice, cut once, because mistakes cost lives. That philosophy served me well in my career. I wish I'd applied it to my marriage. My wife, Rosalie, is 47. She's a partner at Silvercrest Investment Fund, one of those glass tower operations in downtown Denver, where they manage portfolios worth more than most people will earn in 10 lifetimes. She's brilliant with numbers. Always has been. We met at the University of Colorado back when I was in engineering and she was studying finance. She had this way of making compound interest sound like poetry. I fell hard. We got married when I was 21 and she was 20. Young, maybe too young, but we were in love. Our twins, Lily and Zachary, came along when we were both 27. Lily's our fighter, always questioning, always pushing back against authority. Zachary's quieter, more calculating, takes after his mother that way. They're both juniors at CU Boulder now, studying business and computer science respectively. The cracks started showing about 6 months ago, though I didn't recognize them as cracks then. Rosalie worked later hours. She took more business trips. She started going to the gym at odd times, coming home smelling like expensive soap from the locker room showers. When I asked about it, she had reasonable explanations. Always reasonable. A difficult client in San Francisco. A new wellness initiative at the firm. Networking events that ran long. I trusted her. That was my first mistake. This morning, she's standing in our kitchen wearing a charcoal suit that probably cost more than my monthly truck payment. Heels that click against the hardwood like countdown timers. She's on her phone, texting someone, and I catch something in her expression. Excitement. The kind she used to show me, back before partnership and power lunches and whatever the hell is happening now. Colin, she says, setting down her phone with practiced casualness. I need to talk to you about our trip to Aspen next week. We've had this ski trip planned for 3 months. 2 weeks at a rented cabin, just the two of us. The twins are staying with friends over their spring break. It was supposed to be our chance to reconnect, to remember why we got married in the first place. What about it? I ask, already knowing I won't like the answer. Rosalie smooths her skirt, a tell I've learned over 27 years. She does it when she's about to deliver bad news. Julian Hartley is back in Denver. You remember Julian? I remember Julian. Her college boyfriend from freshman year, before she met me. Tall, smooth-talking business major who went on to make a fortune in commercial real estate. The kind of guy who wears success like cologne, always letting you smell it. What about him? He's handling some major investment opportunities for the firm. High-level stuff with international clients. They need my expertise on the risk assessment side, and the meetings are scheduled for next week. So reschedule the meetings. She gives me that look, the one that says I'm being unreasonable, that I don't understand the complexities of her world. I can't. The international clients are only here for a limited window. This could mean millions in new accounts, Colin. For us. For us. I repeat. Right. Don't be like that. She walks over, puts her hand on my arm. Her touch feels calculated, like she's following a script. You don't need all the details. It's honestly quite boring, just numbers and projections and regulatory frameworks. But it's important. There it is. You don't need the details. Like I'm some child who can't handle adult conversations. Sure, I say, my voice flat. Cancel the trip. Rosalie blinks, surprised by how easily I'm agreeing. Really? You're okay with this? Would it matter if I wasn't? She withdraws her hand, and I see relief flash across her face. I'll make it up to you. Maybe we can go to Aspen in the summer instead. Maybe. She kisses my cheek, perfunctory, already thinking about her day, about Julian, about whatever is really happening that I'm not supposed to need details about. Then she's gone, her heels clicking toward the garage, her car purring to life. I stand in the kitchen of the house we've built together, literally built since I did most of the renovation work myself, and I feel something shift inside me. Not anger yet. Something colder. Something that's been building for 6 months of late nights and evasive answers, and looks she doesn't think I notice. I pull out my phone and scroll through my contacts until I find Keith Anderson. Keith's been my friend since our military days, back when we were both young and stupid in the Army Corps of Engineers. Now, he runs his own private investigation business. Discreet. Thorough. Exactly what I need. Keith, I say when he answers. It's Colin. I need your help with something. How soon can you meet? Keith meets me at a coffee shop near the defense facility, away from prying eyes. He's grown grayer since our Army days, but he still has that sharp awareness that made him invaluable in intelligence work. What's going on? He asks, settling into the booth across from me. I tell him everything. The late nights, the evasive answers, Julian's convenient reappearance, the canceled trip. Keith listens without interrupting, his expression neutral, professional. You want surveillance? He asks when I'm finished. I want the truth. He nods. I'll start today. Give me a week. But I'm not going to sit around waiting. That afternoon, I call the Aspen Resort and confirm our reservation is still available. Then I book a single ticket. If Rosalie wants to work with Julian, fine. But I'm not staying home like some abandoned puppy. I call my college buddy Derek, who works as a ski instructor in Aspen during the season. You still there? I ask. Until April, Derek says. What? I'm coming up this weekend. Solo trip. You free to show me the mountain? Always. Bring your A game. The powder's perfect. Friday morning, I'm packing my ski gear when Rosalie comes downstairs. She's dressed casually, jeans and a sweater, which is unusual for a workday. Meeting Julian at his hotel, she explains, catching my look. More relaxed environment for negotiations. Sure, I say, zipping my duffel bag. Are you going somewhere? Aspen. The reservation was non-refundable, so I figured I'd use it. Her face goes pale. By yourself. You're busy with Julian. I'm busy with skiing. Works out perfectly. Colin, that's not necessary. You don't need to punish me for working. Who's punishing anyone? I'm taking a vacation. You said yourself. The cabin's paid for. She opens her mouth to argue, then closes it. What can she say? That I'm not allowed to go? That would reveal too much. Fine, she says finally. Have fun. I plan to. Aspen is everything I remembered. Clean mountain air, pristine slopes, the kind of luxury that feels earned after a week of designing weapon systems. Derek meets me at the lodge with his girlfriend, Monica, a photographer who freelances for ski magazines. She's easy to talk to, quick to laugh, the opposite of Rosalie's calculated charm. Saturday afternoon, we're taking a break on the terrace, the sun brilliant against the snow, when Monica suggests a photo. The light is perfect, she says. She snaps several shots of Derek and me, then a few of just me with the mountain behind me, Monica leaning in a frame, both of us laughing at something Derek said about my rusty technique. That evening, back at the cabin, I post one of the photos on social media. Colin Ramsey, living his best life in Aspen. The caption reads, sometimes the best adventures are the ones you take alone. Well, almost alone. My phone starts buzzing within minutes. Where are you? Colin, what are you doing? Who is that woman? Call me now. I turn the phone face down and pour myself a whiskey from the cabin's well-stocked bar. Rosalie wants details. She can wait. After all, she taught me that some things are just too boring to explain. I return to Colorado Springs on Sunday evening, refreshed in a way I haven't felt in months. The house is dark when I pull into the driveway. Rosalie's car is missing. Working late with Julian, no doubt. Monday morning, Keith calls. We need to meet. I've got something. At the coffee shop, he slides a folder across the table. Inside are photos, time-stamped and dated. Rosalie entering the Four Seasons downtown. Julian meeting her in the lobby. The two of them in the hotel bar, sitting close, too close. Her hand on his arm. His hand covering hers. There's more, Keith says. Julian registered a room 3 weeks ago. Long-term stay. Your wife's been visiting regularly, usually midday, sometimes staying 2 to 3 hours. My chest tightens, but I keep my voice steady. What else? Julian's not exactly clean. He's got financial problems in Boston. Some real estate deals went sideways, and there are whispers about fraud investigations. He's probably running from something, and my wife is helping him hide. Keith doesn't answer, which is answer enough. That afternoon, something darker settles over me. I'm sitting in my home office when I remember something my father told me 30 years ago, right before Rosalie and I got married. I was 21, eager in love. Son, he'd said, lighting his pipe on the porch of his ranch outside Durango. That girl's got ambition. Nothing wrong with that. But she looks at you like you're a stepping stone, not a destination. I've been furious. Told him he didn't know her, didn't understand us. We didn't speak for 6 months after the wedding. He died of a heart attack 10 years ago, never knowing if I figured out he was right. I wish I could tell him now. Dad, you saw something I was too young and stupid to recognize. Tuesday brings another shock. I'm reviewing our finances, something I should have done months ago, when I notice irregularities. Large transfers from our joint savings account, amounts that make my stomach drop. $20,000 here, $35,000 there. Over 6 months, nearly $200,000 has vanished. I trace the transfers. They go to an account I don't recognize, but the bank's records show Rosalie's signature on the authorization forms. Keith digs deeper. The account belongs to a consulting LLC registered in Delaware. The principal? Julian Hartley. My wife has been funding her lover's escape with our money. Money I earned designing weapons systems. Money we saved for the twins' graduate school, for our retirement. Wednesday, I start making calls. First to my attorney, Richard Foster, who handled our estate planning 5 years ago. Richard, I need to protect my assets. How fast can we freeze joint accounts? If you suspect fraud, immediately. But Colin, this could get ugly. It's already ugly. Next, I call our family doctor. Dr. Pierce, I need to schedule some tests. Comprehensive physical. Something specific you're concerned about. Just want to make sure everything's in order. The tests come back Thursday. Dr. Pierce calls me into his office personally, which is never a good sign. Colin, your A1C levels are concerning. You're pre-diabetic, bordering on type 2. Combined with your stress levels and blood pressure readings, we need to take this seriously. Have you been under unusual stress lately? I almost laugh. You could say that. This isn't something to ignore. Untreated, you're looking at serious complications. Heart disease, nerve damage, kidney problems. You're 48, not 88. We need aggressive management. Diabetes. Another gift from Rosalie's betrayal. The stress of watching my marriage disintegrate is literally destroying my health. That evening, Rosalie comes home early for the first time in weeks. She finds me in the living room, the folder of surveillance photos spread across the coffee table. We need to talk, I say. She sees the photos. Her face goes white. Colin, I can explain. Can you? Please, explain how $200,000 of our savings ended up in Julian's account. Explain the hotel visits. Explain why you've been lying to my face for months. It's not what it looks like. Then what is it, Rosalie? Because it looks like you're having an affair and funding it with my money. She sits down heavily, and I see her calculating, weighing options, deciding how much truth to reveal. Julian needed help, she says finally. Rosalie sits across from me, her corporate composure finally showing splits. Julian's in trouble, she says. Serious financial trouble. He made some bad investments in Boston, and there are people looking for him. So you decided to fund his escape with our retirement savings? It's not like that. He promised to pay it back with interest once things settled down. I lean forward. Rosalie, do you hear yourself? You stole $200,000 to help your ex-boyfriend run from his debts. I didn't steal anything. It's our money. Was our money. Past tense. She stands, starts pacing. You don't understand the complexity of the situation. Then make me understand. How long have you been sleeping with him? She freezes. I haven't. Don't lie to me. Not now. Keith's photos show you entering his hotel room multiple times. Staying for hours. You think I'm stupid? Colin, please. Answer the question. Her shoulders sag. It started 2 months ago. After he came back to Denver. We reconnected, and old feelings resurfaced. I didn't plan for this to happen. But you let it happen anyway. You've been so distant lately. Always working, always tired. When's the last time we had a real conversation? When's the last time you looked at me the way Julian does? So this is my fault. I work too much. Therefore you're justified in having an affair and embezzling our savings. That's not fair. I stand up, walk to the window. Outside, our neighborhood looks peaceful, normal. Inside, everything is burning. I found something else, I say quietly. Medical records from 15 years ago. You were pregnant. I hear her sharp intake of breath. The records show a termination. But you told me you had a miscarriage. You let me comfort you. Let me grieve for a child that you chose to terminate without telling me. Colin, that was complicated. Was it mine? Silence. Long, terrible silence. I don't know, she whispers finally. The words hit me like a physical blow. 15 years ago, she was already cheating, already lying. Our entire marriage has been built on deception. Get out, I say. What? Get out of this house. Go to Julian's hotel. Go wherever you want. But get out of my sight. You can't throw me out of our home. Watch me. My attorney has already frozen all joint accounts. This house is in my name only because I paid the down payment before we married. You want to fight me, Rosalie? Bring it. But do it from somewhere else. She stares at me, and I see her shifting gears, trying a different approach. The twins. What about Lily and Zachary? You'd break up their family over this. I didn't break anything. You did. And the twins are adults. They can make their own decisions about who to believe. I pull out my phone and dial. Keith, I need you to come to my address. Document everything. I want photos of Rosalie leaving with her belongings. You're really doing this? Rosalie asks, her voice breaking. You did this. Every lie, every betrayal, every dollar you stole. This is on you. She goes upstairs, and I hear drawers opening, closet doors slamming. 20 minutes later, she comes down with 2 suitcases. Keith arrives just as she's loading her car. Colin, she tries one more time. Please, we can fix this. There's nothing left to fix. She drives away, and Keith puts a hand on my shoulder. You okay? No, but I will be. The morning after Rosalie leaves, I call the twins. They deserve to hear the truth from me, not through gossip or their mother's spin. Lily answers on the second ring. Dad, what's going on? Mom called crying last night, saying you kicked her out. Can you get Zachary on the line? I want to tell you both at the same time. 5 minutes later, we're on a 3-way call. I lay out everything. The affair with Julian, the stolen savings, the abortion 15 years ago that she claimed was a miscarriage, the lies that built our marriage on sand. Lily's response comes swift and fierce. She did what? Dad, that's insane. How could she do that to you? But Zachary's quiet. Too quiet. Zachary, I prompt. You okay, son? Dad, I need to ask you something. Are you sure you're not overreacting? I mean, maybe Mom made some mistakes, but kicking her out seems extreme. Mistakes? Zachary, she stole $200,000 and gave it to her lover. She's been lying for months. But she's still our mother, Zachary says. His voice has that reasonable tone that reminds me painfully of Rosalie. She's obviously stressed at work. Maybe she made some poor choices, but doesn't she deserve a chance to explain? I gave her that chance. She chose to lie. Or maybe you're being too rigid. Zachary continues. You've always been black and white about everything, Dad. The world doesn't work that way. The words sting because they echo something Rosalie used to say when we argued. You're too rigid, Colin. Too inflexible. Zachary's got a point. A small voice inside me whispers. Then I remember the hotel receipts, the bank transfers, the cold calculation in Rosalie's eyes. Believe what you want, I say. But I'm not the one who destroyed this family. After we hang up, Lily calls back alone. Dad, don't listen to Zachary. He's always been Mom's favorite, and she's already gotten to him. I'm on your side. This isn't about sides, Lily. Yes, it is. And I choose you. What Mom did is unforgivable. Her loyalty should comfort me, but instead, it highlights what I've lost. My son believes his mother's narrative. My daughter is forced to choose. The family I built is splintering. Friday afternoon brings another blow. I'm reviewing documents when I find something that makes my hands shake. My business, Ramsey Engineering Consulting, which I started as a side venture 10 years ago, has been used as collateral for a loan I never authorized. I call Richard Foster immediately. How is this possible? I never signed anything. Let me see the documents, Richard says. 20 minutes later, he calls back. Colin, this signature looks legitimate, but the notary's stamp is questionable. I think your wife forged your signature. Could she do that? She's not on the business paperwork. Legally, no. But if she had access to your identification and knew your signature well enough, she could have pulled it off. We're looking at identity theft, fraud, potential criminal charges. My business, the work I've done for a decade, separate from my defense job, building something I could pass to the twins someday. Rosalie put it at risk without a second thought. That evening, I'm sitting in the empty house when my phone rings. Unknown number. Mr. Ramsey? This is Detective Sarah Whitfield with Colorado Springs PD. I'm calling about a report filed against you. Your wife, Rosalie Ramsey, has claimed you made threatening statements, and she fears for her safety. She's requesting a restraining order. The room spins. That's a lie. I never threatened her. Sir, I need you to come to the station Monday morning to give a statement. Don't attempt to contact your wife in the meantime. After she hangs up, I sit in the darkness, understanding finally clicking into place. This is Rosalie's play. Paint me as dangerous, unstable. Use my military background against me. Get a restraining order. Then claim she needs protection, needs assets, needs the house. Keith warned me about this exact scenario when we first met. Guys with your background, combat veterans, defense work, they can twist that into a threat narrative real fast. I call Richard again. She's trying to frame me as abusive. What do? Document everything. Every interaction, every conversation, every threat she makes. And Colin, don't go near her. Don't call her. Don't give her anything she can use. Monday morning, I meet Detective Whitfield at the police station with Richard Foster beside me. She's professional, mid-40s, with eyes that have seen too many domestic situations. Mr. Ramsey, your wife claims you've been following her, vandalizing her boyfriend's property, and making threatening phone calls. She says you have PTSD from your military service, and she's concerned about escalation. I serve in the Army Corps of Engineers, I say carefully. I built bridges, not combat operations. I don't have PTSD, and I haven't contacted Rosalie since she left my house 5 days ago. I haven't vandalized anything or made any threats. Can you prove your whereabouts last Thursday evening? That's when Julian Hartley's car was allegedly damaged in his hotel parking garage. I was at a diabetes management class at Memorial Hospital. New diagnosis, required education session. I have the attendance record and spoke with 3 other attendees. Their contact information is in my phone. Richard slides documentation across the table. Detective, my client has phone records, credit card receipts, and medical documentation for every moment Mrs. Ramsey claims he was threatening her. Additionally, we have evidence that Mrs. Ramsey has stolen over $200,000 from joint accounts, forged Mr. Ramsey's signature on loan documents, and committed identity theft. Perhaps you should be investigating her. Detective Whitfield reviews the documents, her expression shifting from skepticism to interest. These are serious allegations. They're documented facts, Richard says. My client is the victim here, not the perpetrator. The interview lasts 2 hours. By the end, Detective Whitfield's focus has shifted. Mr. Ramsey, I'll need to verify your alibi and review these financial documents. If what you're saying is accurate, your wife may be facing criminal charges herself. Outside the station, Richard puts a hand on my shoulder. You did well. Keep documenting everything. This is far from over. That afternoon, Keith calls. Got some interesting information. Julian Hartley's hotel room was raided by Boston PD this morning. Turns out there's a warrant for his arrest related to a real estate fraud scheme. They've been tracking him for weeks. Does Rosalie know? If she doesn't yet, she will soon. And Colin, there's more. I've been digging into Julian's background. The guy's married. Has been for 12 years. Wife and 2 kids in Boston. The information lands like a physical blow. Rosalie threw away our marriage for a married con artist, running from the law. She really knows how to pick them. I say bitterly. That evening, my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. It's Rosalie, using someone else's phone. We need to talk. Julian's been arrested. I made a terrible mistake. I stare at the message for a long moment, then delete it. Let her sit with her choices. Tuesday brings another revelation. I'm meeting with my accountant, Tom Richardson, reviewing the damage to our finances when he notices something in the old tax returns. Colin, did you know Rosalie claimed a dependent deduction 15 years ago for medical expenses related to a pregnancy? She had a miscarriage. Or that's what she told me. Tom shakes his head. Medical expenses for termination procedures are coded differently than miscarriage. This clearly shows an elective termination, and it was claimed on your taxes. You could have been audited. So she not only lied about the abortion, she'd used it for a tax deduction. The depth of her deception keeps revealing new layers. Wednesday afternoon, I'm at North Point Defense when my supervisor, Daniel Cross, asked to see me. Colin, HR received an anonymous complaint about you. Claims you've been distracted, potentially compromising security protocols. They're requiring a fitness for duty evaluation. An anonymous complaint. Between us, it came from an email address traced to Silvercrest Investment Funds Network. Want to guess who might have sent it? Rosalie's attacking my career now, trying to destroy everything I've built because I wouldn't roll over and accept her betrayal. When's the evaluation? Friday. Clear it, and this goes away. Fail, and you're on leave pending further review. That evening, I get a call from Lily. She's crying. Dad, Zachary and I had a huge fight. He said you're trying to destroy Mom's life, that you're being vindictive and cruel. He said he's going to stay with her until things calm down. My heart sinks. He's choosing her. He says someone needs to support Mom through this difficult time. Dad, I try to make him see reason, but he won't listen. It's like she's brainwashed him. Let him go, Lily. He needs to figure this out himself. But what if he doesn't? What if we lose him? Then we lose him. I can't force him to see the truth. Neither can you. After we hang up, I sit in the empty house and face a hard reality. My son has chosen his mother. My daughter is in anguish. My health is failing. My career is under attack. My business is at risk. But I'm still standing. And I'm not done fighting. Thursday afternoon, I'm working from home when my phone rings. It's Derek, my buddy from Aspen, the one who helped me with the ski photos that started this whole mess. Colin, man, I need to tell you something. It's eating me alive. Something in his voice makes my stomach drop. What is it? About 10 years ago, when you and Rosalie were going through that rough patch, remember? You were working crazy hours on that missile defense contract, barely home. I remember. 70-hour weeks, constant travel to the test facility in New Mexico. Rosalie complained I was never around. I thought we'd work through it. What about it? Derek's voice breaks. She came to Aspen for a conference. Some investment thing. We ran into each other at a bar. Had too many drinks. One thing led to another. And Colin, I'm so sorry. It was one night, and I've regretted it every day since. The words hit me like a physical assault. Derek, my friend since college. The guy who stood up at my wedding. Who I trusted enough to call when I needed to escape. You slept with my wife. Once. Just once. She said you two were essentially done. That divorce was inevitable. I was drunk and stupid, and I've hated myself for it ever since. But with everything happening now, I couldn't keep lying to you. I'm gripping the phone so hard my knuckles are white. 10 years. You've been lying to my face for 10 years. I know. There's no excuse. I just thought you should know the truth about her. She's been doing this for a long time, man. I hang up without another word. 10 years of friendship, erased. Every camping trip, every phone call, every time he asked about my family, he was lying. They were both lying. I'm still processing when Keith calls. Colin, got something else. Remember I mentioned looking into Rosalie's colleague, the one who's been collecting information at Silvercrest? What about her? Her name is Patricia Saunders. She approached me yesterday with an interesting proposition. Said she has recordings of Rosalie discussing business matters, and for the right price, she'd share them with you. She's blackmailing me? Not exactly. She wants to make a deal. Information for immunity if things go legal. Apparently, she's been recording conversations at the investment firm for years, building leverage. What kind of conversations? Everything, including discussions between Rosalie and Julian about their plans for your money, your business, and how to handle you if you became, quote, problematic. My hands shake as I process this. Get the recordings. Already done. You'll want to hear these, but Colin, warning you now, they're rough. That evening, Keith brings over his laptop. We sit in my living room, and he plays the first recording. It's dated 3 months ago. Rosalie's voice clear through office background noise. Colin's so predictable, she says. He thinks because he has a security clearance and designs weapons systems, he's some kind of strategic genius. But he's just a technician. No vision, no ambition beyond the next project deadline. Julian's laugh comes through. And you married him, why? Because I was 20 and pregnant, and he seemed stable. Plus, his military benefits helped pay for graduate school. But I've outgrown him years ago. Keith pauses the recording. You want to hear more? Play it all. The next recording is even worse. The diabetes diagnosis is actually helpful, Rosalie says. Makes him seem more vulnerable, less threatening. If we need to paint him as unstable, We can point to health issues affecting his judgment. You're ruthless, Julian responds, admiration in his voice. I'm practical. Colin built a decent life, but he's reached his ceiling. I haven't, and I'm not letting him drag me down when I'm finally getting everything I deserve. There are hours of recordings, plans to drain accounts, forge signatures, manipulate the twins, destroy my career. Every conversation is calculated, strategic, devoid of any emotion except contempt. When it's over, I sit in silence. Keith puts a hand on my shoulder. I'm sorry, brother. Don't be. Now I know exactly who I've been married to. Friday morning, I passed the fitness for duty evaluation at North Point Defense with flying colors. The psychologist clears me immediately, noting that I'm handling a difficult personal situation with remarkable composure. But that afternoon brings another shock. I'm at my regular coffee shop when I see Monica, Derek's girlfriend from Aspen, the photographer who took those photos. She's sitting alone, looking miserable. Monica. She looks up, and I see she's been crying. Colin, I'm so sorry. I just found out about Derek and your wife. He told me everything this morning. I'm leaving him. You didn't know? Not until today. He's been carrying this guilt for years, and it finally broke him. For what it's worth, I think you're handling this whole situation with incredible strength. Rosalie doesn't deserve you. We talked for an hour. Monica's direct, honest, refreshing after months of Rosalie's manipulation. She tells me about growing up in Montana, building her photography career, the challenges of trusting people in a world full of liars. Can I ask you something? She says. That woman in the photos, the ones from Aspen, was there really someone else? Or were you just making a point? Just making a point. You were helping Derek prove I could still have fun. She smiles sadly. Well, you look genuinely happy in those shots. First time I'd seen that kind of real joy in someone's face in months. Whatever happens, don't lose that. Don't let her take your ability to be happy. I'll try. Saturday morning, I'm standing in the garage of the house I built 25 years ago, looking at tools that have shaped every room, every wall, every corner of this place. I was 23 when I bought this land, nothing but dirt and dreams. Spent 2 years building it myself, working weekends and evenings, learning carpentry and plumbing and electrical work for my father. Every board in this house, I placed it. Every nail, I hammered it. Every pipe, every wire, every fixture, I installed it with my own hands. This house represents thousands of hours of labor, of vision, of building something permanent for my family. And now I'm losing it. Richard Foster called yesterday with the news. Despite the forgery evidence, despite the fraud, Rosalie's attorneys are arguing that as marital property, she's entitled to half the value. The house is worth nearly $800,000. Even if I buy her out, I'll need to liquidate my retirement accounts, take loans against my business. There's another option, Richard said carefully. You could sell the house, split the proceeds, start fresh somewhere else. Sell the house. Walk away from everything I built. Let strangers live in the rooms where my children grew up, where I spent 25 years creating a home. I'm still wrestling with this when Lily arrives. She finds me in the garage, surrounded by memories. Dad, she says softly, you okay? Just thinking about this place. Your grandfather helped me frame the structure. You were born 6 months after I finished the master bedroom. Zachary took his first steps in the living room. Every inch of this house has a story. Lily hugs me. It's just a building, Dad. What matters is the people. But half the people are gone. Zachary's with his mother. Your mother destroyed everything this house represented. Then build something new. You did it once, you can do it again. Her faith in me is humbling. What about you? Where will you go? Wherever you go, I go. You're my father. You've never lied to me, never betrayed me. Mom made her choice, and I've made mine. Later that afternoon, I get a call from an unfamiliar number. Mr. Ramsey? This is Patricia Saunders from Silvercrest Investment Fund. We need to meet. Patricia turns out to be a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s, dressed in the same corporate armor as Rosalie. We meet at a neutral coffee shop. I've been documenting irregularities at Silvercrest for 2 years, she says without preamble. Rosalie's one of several partners who've been creative with client funds. I gave Keith those recordings, but there's more. Much more. Why are you doing this? Because I reported concerns to management 6 months ago, and instead of investigating, they threatened to fire me. So I kept collecting evidence. Now the SEC is interested, and I'm cooperating. Your wife's activities with Julian Hartley are part of a larger pattern. How large? Millions of dollars diverted through shell companies, fraudulent investment schemes, clients who think their money is in bonds when it's actually funding Julian's real estate ventures. Rosalie was the architect. She's brilliant, I'll give her that. But she got greedy. What happens now? Federal investigation. Possible RICO charges. Silvercrest will likely collapse. Anyone associated with the scheme faces prison time. Prison. The word hangs in the air between us. How long have you known about Julian? I asked. 3 months. That's when I connected the dots between the shell companies and his name. I tried to warn Rosalie she was playing with fire, but she told me to mind my own business. After Patricia leaves, I sit for a long time processing everything. My wife isn't just a cheater. She's a criminal. The woman I trusted with my life, my children, my future, has been running a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. That evening, Zachary calls. His voice is different, uncertain. Dad, can we talk? Of course. I've been staying with Mom at Julian's condo. Well, he's not there anymore since his arrest. But Dad, she's not doing well. She drinks all day, cries constantly, keeps saying she's made terrible mistakes. She has made terrible mistakes. I know. I'm starting to see that. She told me some things about the money, about Julian, about lies she's told. Dad, I think I was wrong about everything. What changed your mind? She got drunk last night and started talking about how she deserves better than both of us. How you were never good enough for her. And I'm wasting my potential studying computer science instead of going into finance. She said Lily's loyalty to you proves she lacks ambition. The words don't surprise me. That's exactly how Rosalie thinks. Zachary, you don't have to choose anyone. You can love both of us. But I do have to choose, Dad. And I choose honesty over manipulation. I choose you. Can I come home? Your room's ready whenever you want it. After we hang up, I'll walk through the house one more time. Maybe Lily's right. Maybe it is just a building. What matters is that my children, both of them, are coming back to me. Whatever happens to these walls, that's what I'll take forward. 3 weeks after I kicked Rosalie out, the dominoes start falling faster than I can track. Monday morning, Richard Foster calls with news that makes everything real. Colin, the SEC filed formal charges against Rosalie and 3 other Silvercrest partners. Wire fraud, securities fraud, conspiracy, money laundering. They're looking at 10 to 15 years each. And Julian already pleaded guilty in Boston to avoid federal RICO charges. He's cooperating against everyone, including Rosalie. Gave them everything, financial records, communications, the whole operation. I should feel vindicated. Instead, I feel empty. The woman I loved for 27 years is going to prison. The mother of my children is a criminal. There's no victory in that. Tuesday, Detective Whitfield calls. Mr. Ramsey, thought you'd want to know. We're dropping all investigations into you. Your wife's allegations were fabricated, and she's now facing charges for filing a false police report. I apologize for any inconvenience. Appreciated, Detective. Wednesday brings unexpected news. Monica, Derek's ex-girlfriend, the photographer from Aspen, calls me. Colin, I know this is strange, but I'm doing a photo series on resilience and rebuilding after betrayal. Would you be willing to be interviewed? We meet at a coffee shop, and she's as direct as I remembered. I'm not asking you to relive trauma. I'm asking you to show people that you can survive the worst betrayal and still stand up. Why me? Because you didn't fall apart. You didn't become bitter or violent or self-destructive. You gathered evidence, protected yourself legally, and maintained your dignity. That's the story people need to hear. I agree, and over the next week, Monica follows me through my daily life. Work at North Point Defense, managing my diabetes with morning walks and careful meal planning, helping Lily and Zachary settle back into normalcy. She captures moments I don't think are significant, but she sees something I don't. You're rebuilding, she says one afternoon. Not just surviving, actually creating something new. Thursday, I'm at North Point when my supervisor Daniel Cross calls me into his office. I brace for more trouble, but his expression is approving. Colin, the fitness evaluation cleared you completely. But more than that, your work over the past month has been exceptional. Despite everything in your personal life, You haven't missed a deadline or compromised quality. That's the kind of reliability we value. Thank you, sir. There's a promotion opening up. Senior lead engineer, overseeing the entire guidance systems division. It comes with a substantial raise and better benefits. I'm recommending you. The promotion would mean financial security, especially important now with the divorce costs. But more than that, it's validation. Rosalie said I'd reach my ceiling. She was wrong. Friday evening, both twins are home for dinner. Zachary's cooking, something he learned from YouTube during his brief time with Rosalie. Lily's setting the table. It's almost normal, except for the empty chair where their mother used to sit. Dad, Lily says carefully, have you thought about what happens when Mom goes to trial? The media attention, the publicity. We deal with it. As a family. Zachary speaks up. I talked to a therapist at school. She said it's okay to love Mom and still acknowledge what she did was wrong. I'm working on that. Me too, I say. She's still your mother. Nothing changes that. But you're our father, Lily adds. And you've never let us down. That matters more. 4 months after Rosalie's arrest, I'm standing in front of a new house. Not new exactly, it needs work. But it's mine. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a garage where I can keep my tools. The twins helped me find it. A foreclosure I got for a reasonable price. It needs everything, Lily says, walking through the empty rooms. Good, I reply. Gives me something to build. Zachary's already measuring for shelves. We could frame out the basement, make it a workshop like you had before. We could. The house I built with my own hands sold for enough to pay off Rosalie's share and leave me with a down payment on this place. It hurt to walk away, but Lily was right. It was just a building. Building something new with my children, this matters. Rosalie's trial happened last month. She pleaded guilty to avoid a longer sentence. Got 8 years federal prison. Julian got 12. The other Silvercrest partners got various terms. The firm collapsed, clients lost millions, and the scandal made national news. I didn't attend the sentencing. Lily did. She said she needed closure. Zachary stayed away, said he wasn't ready. I respected both choices. Patricia Saunders, the woman who provided the recordings, got immunity and a book deal. She's writing about corporate fraud and the culture that enables it. She called to thank me for being willing to expose the truth. Dare try to reach out twice. I haven't responded. Maybe someday I'll forgive him, but not today. Some betrayals take time to process. Monica's photo series on resilience launched last week. My story is featured alongside others who've rebuilt after devastating losses. The response has been overwhelming. Messages from people facing their own betrayals, thanking me for showing that survival is possible. She and I have been seeing each other casually. Nothing serious, just coffee and conversations and slowly remembering what it feels like to trust someone. She understands I'm not ready for anything more, and she's patient. My diabetes is under control. Morning walks, careful eating, medication. Dr. Pierce says my A1C levels are improving, and if I maintain this course, complications are unlikely. The diagnosis felt like a curse at first. Now it's just another challenge to manage. The promotion at North Point came through. Senior lead engineer, overseeing a team of 12. The raise covers the house payment, and then some. Rosalie said I'd reach my ceiling. Turns out, I was just getting started. Today, I'm framing out the master bedroom with Lily and Zachary. We're working together, measuring twice, cutting once, building something solid. The twins are laughing at my terrible jokes, and for the first time in months, the house feels alive. Dad, Zachary says, stepping back to admire our work. This is going to be great. It already is, I say, because it's not about the house. It's about this moment, working alongside my children, building a future on foundations that won't rot from hidden lies. It's about knowing that betrayal doesn't define you, that loss doesn't destroy you, that sometimes the worst thing that happens opens doors you didn't know existed. Rosalie wanted details about her meetings with Julian. I gave her the same courtesy. No details necessary, just consequences, delivered with the precision I learned designing weapon systems. And now I'm building again. Not for her, not for anyone else. For myself and my children and the future we're creating together.